looked up and there was a plane. Next thing you know, we heard boom. We ran up to the corner and hit right into the World Trade Center.
Tony, can you tell us what kind of an airplane is it?
It had to be a 737. It had to hit the World Trade Center. It was a big, big plane.
Okay, and what do you see at this point?
Oh, smoke and screaming and, screaming engines and all the fire engines and police departments are all traveling down that way. Oh my God almighty, the black smoke all over the place. I hope nobody, there's got to be somebody killed in it. Poor people that went to work.
Well, Tony, we don't have any confirmation from any officials of this happening. Just repeat again, you were just going outside.
I was bringing the garbage out to the freight entrance when we heard this roaring engine. We looked up and there was the plane. Next thing we know, in a matter of seconds, we heard a boom. We went to the corner and there it was right in the middle of the World Trade Center.
Where are you standing right now, Tony?
I'm right in the building right now.
Okay, and what do you see at this point?
Oh, people all staring up there, looking at it and all. Oh my God, the smoke is coming out, black billow smoke.
Okay, you can see we are physically looking at one of our sky cams right now. We can see billowing smoke from the top of the World Trade Center, Tony.
Yeah.
Are there other people that are around you at this point? Is everybody in pretty much of a state of shock?
Oh, of course they are. People are all in shock. The people in the building are in shock going out. My God almighty, this is a real disaster. This is worse than the one that hit the Empire State Building back in 1939 or 38, whenever that was.
Tony, how long ago did you witness this happening?
Oh, come on, 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago?
That's about all.
You need to take a break.
The black smoke all over the place.
Take a break. Make your You need to take a break. Take a break, take a break. Take a break. Take a break. You need to take a break. Take a break, take a break.
I looked up and there's this plane. And then the next thing I hear in a few seconds was boom.
Tell me what you have to say. Tell me what you have to say. I'll listen to you all the time. Tell me what you have to say. I'll listen to you every time.
And there we go. We're listening to a bit of Simon Shack there with some music. And how's it going, Dan? You're muted, man.
Hello, Del.
1 2 1 2.
How are you? 2 2 1 2. Can you hear me? How are you?
Yeah, just about, man. How are you?
Not bad at all. Still very good when you listen to them songs, isn't it?
Yeah, it was just sort of reminiscing back into the old September Clues soundtrack, you know.
I don't have to go back as far as you. 5 years or so, but nevertheless, very good tunes. You can actually get away with throwing that album on at a party. Excuse me.
Oh, it is. It's great. different tunes, as you know, and different style and different moods evoked from the different songs. But behind it all, those little snippets of, the liars of the day, the script, the script,
Yep.
the people delivering the script, the actors,
Oh,
the
yes.
actual writing
Yes.
of the script.
Well, this is why we always revert back to the media, don't we? And why we always refer to them as, the tell a lie vision. And I think it was apt that coined that.
Yeah, well,
It was very apt.
it is the bullshit device that seems to be convincing everybody around us that, the state of what's going on is actually real, where in reality,
If they didn't advertise it, it wouldn't be taking place.
no. And unfortunately, everyone is going along with it, and then they're creating it, creating the bullshit.
Yeah. Perpetuating the myth.
That's it. Keep it going. Keep her lit.
Well, that's a funny term I heard someone say the other day. I think it was like a myth, a perpetuated myth for society or something. Can't remember the wording of it, and it made sense, because if you get enough people believing in one thing, it doesn't take long. Then you take it for granted, don't you?
Well, that's it.
So what have we learned today? Have you learned how to brew? Any other techniques to brewing?
I don't know if you can hear the in the background there, but that's like 30 bottles of white Burgundy bubbling away.
You can tell everyone there that you're doing speech marks when you say Burgundy.
Yeah, well, you see, Burgundy immediately, even in my mind, evokes like the red wine, the Burgundy. But there's also a white grape, because when we talk about wines anyway, like whether it's Merlot, Chardonnay, or whatever, it's the grape variety that is pertaining to the name.
Definitely.
Oh, we sound like a couple of fucking wine snobs here. Basically,
I did my 6 month at Marks and Spencer's on the wine department. Don't worry.
All right, well, 5 liters of Burgundy white grape wine or grape concentrated juice in, and mixed with water. Bring it up, get it to the right temperature, and sprinkle your yeast. And then, after 3 or 4 hours, it's like, it's alive.
It's like the beginning of weird science, isn't it?
It's
alive.
It's alive and it's bubbling, and then it bubbles away.
Yep.
Creates loads of carbon dioxide for good old
greenhouse gases.
Al Gore fucking second book bullshit. And then at the end of it all, you siphon it off. You can stop it. There's various different ways, of stopping a wine. And I just find, the chemicals you can add to it. Well, when I say chemicals, they're sort of, they call them finings, right? And some of them are numbers and whatever, I wouldn't use them. I literally let it fit. Once it stopped bubbling, man, the yeast is dead. Like it's in a container for starters, and there's only a certain amount of interaction with it. And when the yeast die and all, they just settle down to the bottom. That clear liquid, then you siphon it off, and that's your wine basically. You can put, if it is cloudy or whatever, it depends on temperatures. If you watch all that stuff, but I'm kind of like I say to myself, this stuff
is the best judge.
Yeah, you just know what to do. It's like cooking or anything. You just get used to doing it, and you just know what you're doing, kind of thing. So
the time I've drank, that's been brewed, from different festivals and stuff like that, it tasted totally different to the cider that I drank, and I've only ever drank 2 pints of cider in my life. And yet, when I got to a few festivals, I would literally say, "Go on, I'll have a pint of cider," because it is a different brew. It's a totally different drink.
Yeah.
So you're gonna come up with the equivalent of Impto, call it a delcroix.
Oh yeah, we'll do it. Delcroix 33%. How about that?
33%, and it's 11 euros a bottle. There you go.
Yeah, and you can do a 9
Throw in a
minute
9.
11 special. You know.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Hey, why not? Everybody else is well, we've seen the mattress advert, haven't we? The mattress advert. We've seen Brock do his mocking little Freedom Tower, where he's doing his 911 joke. We've also had the joke after it, pretty much within a couple of weeks, was George Carlin.
Yeah, they all, yeah, but you see, the thing is, man, they're all out there on the mainstream at the time and reinforcing the whole thing.
Yeah.
And you get into the situation then where you're in like a sort of community on the internet, which, you know, is also given to us by, you know, whatever, military industrial complex, DARPA.
We're playing football on their pitch, basically, aren't we?
Yeah. So there you go. So, you know, after that, everything, you know, we talk about is pretty much academic in that sense of fucking hell, you know.
No, definitely. If you put it into perspective and what is actually logically visible, you say, well, you're actually communicating, like you say, on their media or their platform or their, you know, their usury tool and whatever, their instrument, whatever they might call it, because they will reword it. But nevertheless, you're using that. We're all using that.
Yeah. So
that brings us back to that old saying, well, I'm not going to get anything to hide. And that's not the reason they're doing it. Yeah. You actually tell more, don't you?
Well, the thing is, you know, everyone has their privacy, and everyone, you know, the public, private, public, you know, you hear it's always bandied about. But, you know, whether you're on Wi-Fi or on some sort of a data connection from a mobile phone, or just on the old-fashioned feckin' telephone and all that thing, you know, but with fiber optics and whatever, there's a wire going outside, you know, it literally goes out through a hole in your wall. So after that, you know, it's out there, and that's one thing, right? That's one weird thing.
Yeah.
And that's not even just talking about the, you know, the Wild West of the internet, so to speak, which was also given to us, the Wild West. So it's like, we're speaking in narratives all the time then. And I know, I understand that, well, we wouldn't speak at all, you know, but it's also, I think it's important to, you know, to fucking realize that, you know, that we are.
No, it's good to maintain the point that what you're saying is not only for me, it's for other people. You know, I mean, I do this. I don't come in here. Del, if I just wanted to talk to you, we'd be on a private hangout, wouldn't we?
Well, then we're here in the bloody public one, and
exactly. We're only here just normal dispelling of chatting and things like that, but nevertheless, you know,
actually testing the thing as well. You know, testing the Googleness of the YouTube at the moment. You know? So that's another reason. So
well, I've had problems with the internet recently. So you know, this is why I was keen to try this, because it seems to be cutting out all the time. Now you can put that down to, you know, shutting it with shit, workmanship, whatever. But nevertheless, still seems to be having a problem. We're all right so far. So what's on the agenda? I know we're not going to stay on long, and I know we're not going to really get into anything really in depth. But anything good you've watched recently that you can you know, elaborate on?
Yeah, here we go. This will sound like some BBC 4, you know, program from the 1990s, but I actually dug into a couple of Outer Limits the other day. Now, you know, everyone hears the Twilight Zone and all that, and I know everyone's heard of the Outer Limits as well, but the Twilight Zone's always sort of pushed, if you wanted to say something's out there, they always go, that's the Twilight Zone territory. Which at the end of the day, when you look back on it, they're all programming and fucking part of the whole thing as well. Sure, that goes without saying, really. But just for anyone that's new to listening about stuff like this. But the Outer Limits, I came across, I have them in my hard drive there. I downloaded them years ago. But it's like, dug into, had a look at a couple of them, and I came across, it's a pretty famous one in that realm of Outer Limits, is that and also very telling in what we're told in the conspiracy world, and what we can see ourselves in, what the likes of Ronald Reagan and all that, when he was doing his greatest
Star Wars narrative pushing wars,
greatest acting role.
That's right.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And it was basically about a cabal of these scientists who said, we're going to have to frighten. It was called the Architects of Fear. So first of all, the title would literally jump out. Architects of Fear. And the actor Robert Culp was in it. Now, Robert Culp goes without any explanation, but
I think Robert Culp was in charge of the Greatest American Hero as well, was he?
No, that was the other guy. No, you're thinking
Robert Ryan.
No, you're thinking the guy that was in The Greatest American Hero. Although I can't think of his name now, but I know.
No, not William Catt. Not William Catt, his boss.
No, now you have.
See,
no, not the guy who was going around with Ziggy. Right, that wasn't.
No. Greatest American Hero, not Quantum Leap.
That's what. Yeah, you see, you knocked me off there. It wasn't the Quantum Leap. It was The Greatest American Hero.
Yeah, I think he was his boss, because I used to love him. He was so straight and deadpan.
He was the guy who used to just turn up and fucking have you got the suit, man? Have you got the suit?
Yeah.
What have you done with the suit? Yeah, Robert Culp was the original CIA spook in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a fine actor as well.
Yes, but if you take yourself back, he was kind of like he was in the Robert Wagner stable. They're the same kind of dude, if you think about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of like another
tweed suit, beat up car, do working for more than what money will achieve.
Mm.
Hopes and dreams, eh?
Yeah.
Even the dreams they give us a dead beats.
Well,
sorry, mate, go on.
No, but the thing was that the cabal of scientists decided that in order to bring about world peace, and we know about that if you ask Stalin what.
Is that how they said it?
Oh yeah, they're trying to stop people from. The whole point of it was, and it's a whole convoluted story when you think about it, but it's basically to turn Robert Culp into an alien. And by the time they're finished, he looks like a paper mache alien, right? And that's what the funny part of it is weird. Who gets shot by a bunch of duck hunters because they sent him up in a spaceship. And here's the thing. They said, we're actually pretending to send up a weather satellite. But and all as far as all the people know, that's all it is. But what we're really doing is we're sending you up there, and then you turn around and come back down and make a landing outside, the United Nations.
No way.
Yeah, but like by the magic.
No wonder they didn't put it in the Twilight Zone ones.
Yeah.
It would have been too obvious.
By the magic of the plot twist. He comes back down. You see, they've already reinforced satellites and rocketry and fucking. He could steer a rocket, but he wasn't able to land outside UN. But instead he lands about a mile away from the installation where they were doing the weird operations on him.
Well, if he got shot, it sounds like he landed on the Bundy Ranch.
But here's the thing, man. he goes and these three duck hunters, right? In their complete with their plaid shirts and their Irish red setter dog, and the dog starts barking and runs off into the bush, and then he comes running back out, and then the next minute you see the paper mache rubber cup with the big eyes, and you could see sort of like this was made in 1963, man. This is just the weird part of it, like fucking long
Yeah.
time ago, just totally weird. And
55 years ago.
yeah, when you think about it, when you think about it, right? I was born in '64, so it was a year already out before I was born. So if you think about it, these fuckers been at it. Well, we know that anyway, but like even something as simple as a sci-fi television program in which to program, especially, at the height of the Cold War as well, all that was going on. Oh, they give you the nuclear bombs and all that crap in the beginning, man. Also, it sets the scene as well, and then you see the
well, not only that, it's like the narrative is with a lot of them stories to do with the future. It's always set after a nuclear war as well.
Yeah.
And so it was achieving something.
Yeah. But I just wanted to say to anyone that's listening as well, I actually had that and uploaded it onto my channel the other day. And literally by the time it was processed and everything, it had like 3 or 4 views. And the next minute I clicked on it and it goes blocked in all countries, purely because, I had the audacity to show an old episode of The Outer Limits,
How dare you, man.
Yeah, well, it's not
How
like,
dare you try and disseminate happiness across the land?
it's not like I'm whinging about it anyway, but I could still describe it and tell you about it. You should go and find it yourselves or whatever, But at the same time,
what makes this another thing that makes me laugh? Copyright law to me is literally a brickie trying to charge you for looking at his house.
That's what it is.
You're not getting paid to look at it. You know what I mean? What are you on about? Every time someone looks at it, what a fiver, I built that. No,
exactly.
We get indoctrinated with these ownership and this. Fuck. First of all, intellectual property. Find me an intellectual first, man.
There's a good one.
Find me an intellectual. Find me someone who can actually just relinquish everything and just say no, you're right. Because you know what? 9 times out of 10, these people, even when you go back 1,500 years to these so-called, well, fuck it, we'll call them the alchemical hustle. Fucking, that's what Sean calls them.
Yeah.
Even they wasn't magnanimous enough to say, yeah, I'm a fraud. They sort of did it in a snidey way. They said, yeah, I'm this, and and they always maintain like they were intelligent. When in actual fact, no. Einstein pretty much was the only one that come out and said, look, I don't know nothing. I'm not the most intelligent man in the world. The only thing I know is that human ignorance is infinite. I'm not sure about the universe being infinite. And he never made a lie. I mean, I know he published a lot of lies, but he never come out and acted like a twat. And I think that's what the media now is pushing, the way that people just come out and say that they're good and they're not.
Yeah,
I know it was a bit convoluted. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, but don't forget that the whole Einstein thing. He started off as a clerk in the patents office, and
behind every good man is a good man.
His so-called wife, which in the whole gender thing, have you seen his wife? She does look a bit like,
Does that not be styled?
I to pretty much tend to agree with Pichet on that analysis, but yeah, you see, he's the guy.
She wears the belt and the shoes.
Yeah, but he's still the guy that's held up by the mainstream and everything else, taught in schools, university. Einstein's the man. He's the go-to guy for fucking relativity. And I
think he's just a milepost so that they can refer back to, because he was before the so-called I suppose you could call it the Jewish annex of like science, and he was still sort of accepted on both sides. So both books, both sides of the German history and different people's history refer to him.
Yeah, well,
so I think they sort of do use that as a mile. Is it a milepost? I don't know.
A milestone.
A milestone. Sorry, even though we know it's crap, like the 19 hijackers.
It's the pieces of the information, and then of course you get something like 19 hijackers, and that's a frame of reference that everyone can point to and go, yeah, but that's, you know, the hijack 9/11, and it's just another fucking piece of the script. And this is the stuff that, among a lot of people in the truth, you know, there's still, I suppose, a lot of Americans are just fucking traumatized. They're just happy enough to know that it was an inside job, but still people died and blah blah blah, you know. And
Yeah.
there's still
Yeah,
kids.
I don't think we should make a pop-up book about what happened.
No,
but
but
if anyone actually
you know,
says they've investigated and comes in
but here's
and
the
is
thing.
naive
To be
enough
talking
to,
about,
you know, say a few things,
to
then
be
I think you can
talking
put them
about
off on it.
to be talking about the narrative. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like anything. If you were in a real life court case and there was some sort of fucking thing going on, and you know, you're caught out lying about something or whatever, or fraud or something, you know, there's something real that the idea of a court is there, and there's always the good reason, and then there's the fucking myriad of real reasons that they use for these
We
fucking.
let viewers
You know
into
what I
the
mean?
court so that you can see
But
public reaction.
you rob somebody, and then, right, well, you need to fucking pay them back, or restitution or whatever. And you know, it's if it's not a Goodfellas movie, it's you're in the fucking court, right? But the thing is, it's sort of like falsus in uno, falsus. Jesus, man, you caught me in at this hour tonight. In
Don't
other
start
words,
speaking Latin because I
the
can't give
line.
you a coffee for
That's what I'm
example.
saying. I can't even fucking remember it now at this stage tonight. But basically, to paraphrase in pidgin English, that to be false in one thing is to be false in everything. So if you're caught out lying in something, your evidence in anything else is just going
Yeah.
to be thrown out. Whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. It's like, fuck it.
Nope.
Next, we need another
It gets thrown
witness.
out. By the way, we don't call it pidgin English anymore, Phil. We
Piggy
call it
on.
dodo English.
Yeah, it's a piggy
Dodo
on
English.
up in the fucking the water tank. Oh yeah, the dodo.
Dodo English, that's what we call it from now on.
It's dodo English. Well, then, you know, we're talking about encoding and everything, and you know. But anyway, you've knocked me off my what I was going to say there about what we were talking about. So there you go.
Well, but some of the things to do with the court system, obviously, when you get in there, you do understand why this ceremony is there, why people come in, because a lot of that was based on honour and a man taking care of his business, and you'd only be invested in that system if you were part of that system, i.e., if you knew you were representing your false legal fiction. Nowadays, we've been tricked into it, so people go in there now thinking they're a normal person.
Yeah,
When
but
really
you
you
see,
should stand at the door and say, "Look, no,
yeah,
I'm not participating."
yeah, but without even going on, that's my trip. You just fucking, you know, don't.
I know. I try and stay away from it myself, but nevertheless, I think you know,
Yeah, basically, you just fucking.
just a cursory mention.
That's just my thing. I'll have nothing to do with them. You know what I mean? Just that's it. But the one thing I wanted to say, without going down the fucking this whole rabbit hole, is that people have to fucking realize as well that they've used, you know, everyone is given this number now. It's, you know, what do they call it? Public private number, you know, your tax number or whatever number it's assigned to, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone in the sort of the Western influence worlds have it, right? And the thing is that, you know, back into the whole straw man thing, right? You're basically an employee. And by your consent, you're an employee because you're using that number as well. It's like an extension of
Same with the name.
fraud. It's an extension of it. So even there, they classify everybody as an employee. So that's how people get a pension, you know, at the end of their life. Whether, you know, like in England and whatever, Ireland, and people, even if they, you know, worked as a teacher for all their life, and there's none of this invest in Mr. fucking, you know, high and low investments can go up and down to get your pension. They had a state pension. You know, the state paid the pension because they, you know, you're part of the fucking country and whatever, you know.
And it should look after you because you're the
Yes,
one that creates
and
money for it.
that's what they do. But like it's changing as well. They're fucking up on that as well. But as you know, because the so-called countries are all thrown into the whole balance sheet now, and
Well, it always makes me laugh when you talk about the way companies can just migrate over borders without any stops and checks. And that's just companies by far. They've run the world. I'd say probably since the mid-30s.
Mhm.
I mean, I had a novel thought when I first heard about Bitcoin. I looked into it. No, but bear in mind when I say I looked into it, I listened to probably 3 or 4 podcasts.
Whoever's pushing it, hey, we got to get Bitcoin.
Exactly. So I listened to about 3 or 4, and I listened to it quite intently, thinking, right, okay. So I looked into it, and it worked out that obviously you have to have a certain amount of computer power that does this so-called mining that creates, the Bitcoin. And then in my head, and this is weird, I created a game that people would play on, and it'd mine the Bitcoins for you. And then all these apps started appearing. Now, is Bitcoin legit? Because if it is legit, I'm sure half these apps that people have on their phones are just sort of like mining tools for Bitcoin. So they're actually spending money and making money, by interacting with it.
But don't forget, man,
because they are that clever, aren't they?
But it's all out there. It's like one thing, you connect, say, PayPal to your bank account, and you buy something on eBay, and it's a nice automatic transaction, blah, blah, blah. That's far different from here's, Bitcoin and whatever the fuck, build yourself a wallet. That's the first thing. And all this kind of, I looking at, and I seen at the time the people who were coming out with it, like Cliff High. He's one of them, I'm not just going to mention people in the way I just did, didn't I? But I'm just going to say.
No, it's fine. I've listened to Cliff. No. I know exactly. What he's.
I'm only talking about fucking people that I've listened to and what we've heard. And, I'm not selling you a Bitcoin. So I'm just a listener, and I'm telling you, my listening experience of these.
I don't have a wallet.
No, neither do I. Flick's sake, just. Anyway, I don't even know where to really go with this.
No, but Cliff High, because you mentioned Cliff High, so obviously there was a reason.
No, that was just one of them, but these were the same people who were, 2012 and all this kind of stuff. And then you had your Y2K before that. And there was always something is beyond just over the horizon, as they used to say, reinforcing the ball strategy. And
get your head around it. That's what Tom said last night. Get your head around it.
Yeah, I think the new thing, and then Bitcoin, and then this mining end of it. To be quite frank, man, this is a new fucking angle. I never even heard of that one. Right? It was all about building a wallet, and and just watching it. It was just like a pyramid. Look, I'll just say. Do you remember, Amway and things like that? They're probably still on the go because I've seen it come and go, even in Ireland. There's always someone selling something, and it's in a pyramid fucking scheme thing. And they were even
get the people in the church hall.
Yeah, it got so bad. People were going fucking mad that they actually had to put it up in the mainstream and expose themselves, basically. But by that time, they already fucking got away with loads of money. In fact, there was even people like that were sort of famous, sort of half famous media characters that fucking ended up being on the hung up or hung out in the media as being in charge of some sort of a pyramid scheme. They became known as pyramid schemes.
I remember they were all the rage in the early 90s, weren't they?
Yeah, I think Bitcoin and all that stuff, I could be wrong, and I'm also making my opinion on not a complete examination, but at the same time, I think I've seen enough to just say I wouldn't myself. I don't have Bitcoin. And
well, yeah, the way I am with my eyes when I see things. I remember everyone saying, "No, they don't know who the fella, the guy who made the Bitcoins were."
Yeah.
And then his name come out, and I remember looking at it, and I made an anagram out of it. It was something like "money is the key." Something.
Yeah. Well.
Do you know what I mean? Just something stupid. So and literally, it's like when you say, you know that radio show Opie and Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
No, if you just look at that as literally just passing, that says opinionated. Opie and you know what I mean? The way it says opinionated.
Do you know if you have an appointment for a fucking, never mind that they just strap off one and it's an app, and any now people just think of an app as something you put on your bloody phone, but
Yes.
you have an appointment, it's app ointment,
Yes.
you go to the hospital for an appointment and it's like
You're committed. You're in actual fact, you're committing to something there. This is one of the things that has always struck me. There must be some sort of waiver when you buy a computer, because you're using that as a tool for computing, for basically for talking on the internet, and for communicating on the internet and the electronic thingy. So there's going to be some sort of waiver at a basic level there. I don't know if they keep adding and adding.
It's the biggest telephone in our realm, whatever that is, of fucking. Because here's the other thing. There's, well, I suppose it's all based on bloody the narrative too.
You're listening to another hour of Delcroix Radio.
No, this is Del's Pub Lock-In on his YouTube channel, which you just reminded me I should have fired up outside radio and
out there. The background music as well.
All the outside. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Hey, man. Is there anyone watching? I hope there's not.
I haven't even looked at the chat since earlier.
Go on, I dare you. I dare you, because I'm not gonna click on it. I can't see who's in there.
Hang on. Because you know the way when you're just trying to keep an eye on fucking everything. Oh, here we go. All right, I'll do a roll call, right? Well, Millennium.
Okay.
That's Benny. That's some fucking goddess smoke.
Hello, Millennium.
Napoleon Wilson. Anybody? He's there. And then I came in with a smile. Then you were there, and me again. And then been taking pics. Kathleen. First one to.
Hello, Kathleen.
Hello, Kathleen. And she's missing the wrench. Yeah, how the fuck? Yeah, well, I did a fucking de-wrencher, and you probably just got lost in the wrenchage. I suppose she's closing her eyes and listening. That's cool. Oh, then Wendy Blank is there as well.
Hello.
That's cool. Oh, cool. Yeah. Nice one, Wendy. And Greatest American Hero. So she was listening to us when we were talking about it, and she's closing her eyes and listening. No. Wanda is there as well. Hiya, Wanda. She's saying hi because she was just in as well from a long day.
You left a message in chat, and I'm sorry I didn't reply to it. I mean, you said, "I can't believe Robert Palmer's dead."
I didn't.
And it was like 12 years earlier.
And announce
I know. I'm sorry, Wanda.
Frank is there. Another
hour.
Frank. Yeah, Frank. Announce assault per day. Frank is there in the chat. Shed King.
Do you know, I do love it when someone from another country uses your language better than you. That's why I like talking to you, Frank. It's amazing.
I just love when someone, a blast from the past comes in. I'm going to have to say a big shout out to Mali. He's over in Liverpool, man. Right? He's a scouser. He's the Shed King. He's Shed King Timber Buildings dude.
Well, I'm not looking at chat, but I do like scousers, so there you go.
Well, it was a good shout out to Shed King. He put in a full stop. Isn't that good? He's probably testing to see whether he's there or not. But
yeah, well, big shout out to Napoleon Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Did you say Pete was there?
No. Oh, a wrench was there.
His
That's my one and only sock that I made just for the laugh. Do you remember? So I've actually given him a wrench. So
Yes.
he actually.
And you keep pointing it out.
I
You
know
keep
it's not like a.
pointing at it, going, "That's me." That's no. You're meant to be. What's the word? You're meant to be like. Dun.
Incognito. No, no, there wouldn't be that, man. It's grand, you know. And I've got outside radio as well and a view from the bog. So there's none of them either have ever trolled anybody. And anyway, if they did, it's me, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't be trolling them anyway. And I wouldn't even be using the different account. The only reason you'd use your accounts because one day I made outside radio. I said, right, I'm going to start posting all my radio shows. And like everybody else gets put on the long finger, then you just forget about it, but you still have an account.
You have to make a name up to listen to it, don't you? Pretty much.
Yeah, well, I already have my view from the bog on. It's there. It's a site, and people can go and listen to the stuff. But I don't know. It's just because it was there, and it was good practice for just like fucking practicing on getting figuring myself around the bloody internet. You know, how to post things. You know how to make a play bar. You know for HTML and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I think with me, of all the computers, it's so random to me that I get daunted just by looking at it, and I hate clicking on things like agree and disagree or apply and okay. So I sort of
they want you to submit. You got to submit at the end to the thing, and most people just fly down through.
Yeah, it's like hazing. It's like going to a boys' school. Please, sir, can you have another?
You're just signing a contract, and you just submit. But at the same time, you're still dealing in their fucking make-believe digital world, which begins and ends in the wire going outside your door. So you can it's return to sender if they start trying to mess around with you over digital stuff, like what you were saying earlier on. You can take the intellectual stuff, show me a digital thing. It's bits and bytes. It's one computer doing the same thing onto the other computer. It's just switching over zeros and ones basically, and those zeros and ones turn out to be a song. It doesn't matter. Especially for the likes of all these fucking bands that with vinyl and all that. I've got fucking 2 boxes full of vinyl that I bought growing up and over my life, and how many millions of people did the same thing, and now they're whinging on the internet because somebody's computers got the same little over of 0 and 1s as another computer. It's the song you made. Yeah, thank you for that. We bought it all.
Basically, all that's happened there is the music industry saying to the artists, "So we're not paying you." The music industry still gets money because they do all the torrents. They do all these other things. The music industry is the one that sells the bootleg music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people go, "Oh no, oh no." Yeah.
You're breaking up again, man.
It's the same with the movies. There's some people, Del, who just won't go to the cinema. Still need to be programmed. So and that is it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm just going to say hi. I'm off again out of this.
Yeah, and you've been breaking up.
Stuff on the torrent. 2212, can you hear me?
No, you've been breaking up, and you're doing a fucking Rollo impersonation now. 2212, can you?
Yeah, you're listening to.
I mean, mate.
Mary had a little. What I was going to say is the film industry. No, people won't go to the cinema. So they have to release the programming via other avenues. Same with torrents. None of these things are people embarking on. Oh, I'm going to, almost like that V for Vendetta. I've never seen it, but apparently it's like some renegade who's meant to advertise things and all that. It just sounds like Silk Road about a year before it happened. It's weird. Or WikiLeaks, or all these different things. There's nothing gets on that little box in your corner unless it's been government approved. Sorry.
They're there in the revolution with the mask bought from Hollywood movie. Yeah, nice one. That's
They could have made it good though, couldn't they? They could give it the James T. Kirk mask from Jason.
Yeah, but emulating the stuff that we've been given by them in the first place, I think I might just play that.
Well, before you do, their lack of ingenuity actually makes me believe in genes, because there's lack of good input in their in their thinking. Because if they're still trying to kid people with this, we're 280 odd years in now, and all right, I'm 40, but it's taken me 21 years. There's going to be people who work this out over the next generation, and it's going to get quicker, quicker, and quicker. So they need to change their attack, unfortunately, because people aren't going to fall for it anymore.
Indeed, man. Indeed. Right, I'm going to put this on, and what I'll do is I'll turn the volume down. I'll just mute it when the music comes on. I'll just play a little bit of it and see what happens. But if the Hangout starts saying, because these fucking things, they have the algorithms to pick up on stuff. It's pretty weird. To start sending you messages like in real time, all automatic bullshit as well, But anyway, why not? We'll try it out anyway.
Okay.
And hang on. I'm pausing that for a minute, man.
So we can take it in.
Yeah. I've taken it down the volume, and I'm not sharing my screen yet either, right? And we'll see how we get on. I'm not getting any messages from the automatic robots on Google Hangouts. And what I'll do now is I'll share my screen, and I hope it doesn't mess up your thing. So
I'll be fine. Don't worry, I'll mute.
Yeah, can you see that? Now, I'm going to leave it muted for now, just so that they can't pick up on the fucking audio, because that's what they do. Yeah, I've just flicked on the watch page, and it's coming. The picture is coming through.
That looks lovely.
Can you see it, yeah?
Yeah, that's fine, mate.
That's cool. And Frank can see it as well. Good man, Frank. Thanks for letting us know in the chat. The outer limits thing. Now, I might chance putting on a bit of audio when they're talking. What do you think?
But don't jeopardize yourself. But nevertheless, if you want, I think you can. Is it about 5-6 seconds you can do?
Yeah, the music is stopped now. You know what I mean? That's where I think that's where they picked up on it. The beginning of it. We control the horizontal and the vertical.
And the vertical, yeah.
And they're saying there.
That has always stuck with me. That as well. The vertical. When they said we control the vertical.
Yeah, and there's your nuclear bomb. They have to throw in that there. Now I'll put on a bit of the audio. I don't know if they actually record the
Frank, oh,
audio.
by the way, Frank's a physicist, so he can explain all that explosion.
Now, look at that. See all the men sitting.
Oh, I see that there.
Oh, hang
Oh, I
on.
thought you meant the atomic symbol on the wall.
Hang on, I'll turn it up now.
We're bound to have more such accidents.
Can you hear that?
And eventually,
Hmm.
soon, one must prove fatal.
You
These
can still
nations
see it?
must unite.
Definitely.
We must make them unite. And gentlemen, we can make them unite. We're here today to proceed with our plan.
This is spooky bit. This is.
It is one of us who must submit to that ordeal.
Jesus Christ.
Oh shit! I hope they don't get this bit of music. Architects of Fear.
Hmm.
Started
Is that a Jewish name? Next.
I don't care what reading of history you take, the pattern is always the same. Whenever a bacteria invasion strikes, or a fire rages, or a wild beast roams the streets, then and only then do men stop fighting each other and work together to save themselves. A common enemy, a common fear. That is the only answer. If all the men of the earth are threatened by an enemy from a hostile planet, well, gentlemen, we are going to create that enemy out of someone in this room.
To turn a human being into a thing like that. Suppose something goes wrong. The leading biologists and medical men of the world will be examining our enemy from outer space.
And they
Do
will
you know someone's going to edit this and make it about Bruce Jenner
entire planet.
turning into
No, they're not-
something like that?
They're a bunch of
As that thing is
Rockefellers types.
perfect inhabitant.
We've got
But
two
yet-
big new
Frank-
Brzezinskis and one Benays. So there you go. There's three of them.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There's Western Europe in the box.
All right, gentlemen.
Nice.
Please. We've all written our names.
Yeah, that was Belgium.
Yeah. This is the Eurovision Song Contest here. Who will be,
Get a fucking cauldron as well.
yeah, the Mia Culpa, you know? The Robert Culp.
Nothing's ever hidden, is it?
Yeah, it's pretty weird, all right, isn't it?
It's the fucking church you're saying that.
Give it a good shake now. We're in the national lottery. And don't forget the weird nuclear symbolism behind his head.
Well, that's the new cross, isn't it, Del? That's the new crucifix.
And here we go. They never checked to see that he have one up his sleeve.
Alan Layton.
Now we're into military-industrial complex. Advanced Biological Studies Group.
Ah. You know, you could have had a great career in a Turkish bath.
11.
You want to know how we're going to do this? We'll call in the specialists as they're needed. I'm scheduled to do basic medicine and ride herd on you if you want it that way. Oh, don't just nod at them. You have to have complete...
Bill, you're the only guy I'd choose.
The entire system's going to take an incredible jolt. You have to be able to handle it physically as well as...
Emotionally.
Now, if you can't say so, there's no shame.
We've been through all this.
I know it.
He was trim, wasn't he? Look at that.
Are you aware we're going to change every organ in your body?
The other guy is like fucking Bones out of Star Trek. You idiot. Why? And he's the one who's going to operate on him, and yet he's tick with him because, you know, it's like complete, I don't know, fucking brainwashing. It gets even weirder. Right? Well, I'll shut up now and just watch, you know. No, we haven't even met his wife yet and all that, you know. It's complete, and you'll just see the different conspiracies addressed.
So,
You understand that as soon as I hit you with the calcium spalexis losing hormone, there's no turning back, Alan.
Yep. As soon as he hits him with this fucking made-up injection, there's no turning back.
Blind obedience, man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you hear the bird in the background? Alan, Alan. They're introducing the love interest. Yeah. Go ahead. Stick me with the needle. It's like bloody, I don't know.
Day Hunter.
Drug taking 101. With the crazy violinist. All right, I've just got it.
Hi. Did I break up something important? I hope.
All right, I gotta stop this, man. Bastards got me, man.
Never mind. That's good so far. I'll be able to watch that.
Yeah,
it's good shit. Go on, elaborate. What happens?
Basically, what happens is, your man, they introduce her and then they go for a walk, and she's looking at the storefront, right, on this, you know, street, and it's a maternity shop, and it's called From Here to Maternity. Do you remember the old From Here to Eternity?
Yes. Oh my God, that's nearly as bad as the hairdresser's called Curl Up and Die.
There you go. And then what else did they have? Yeah, the whole, you know, sort of, they're going to have a baby sometime. This kind of thing is invoked into it. But then, you know, what his mission is, you know, they're turning them into a fucking alien, basically, and doing all these operations on him. So they make it look like he's going on a business or going on a top secret mission, right? Because they're all fucking, as you can see, spooks and doctors and all sorts of things, right? But they're all sitting there at the beginning in the room. It's kind of like the, you know, like that room in the background where they're all there controlling everything. Well, you know, it turns out they're just a bunch of scientists, and they draw a lot for the next one. And you saw the monkey creature thing. It was like and all it is like a doll, and they just shake it and they put the sound effect, you know. It was kind of spooky in a box, you know, in black and white. But that was their last volunteer. That's what happened to him. So they put him into, you know, pressure chambers and give him different oxygen, because these boffins worked out that from the planet he was coming from, which was from some star system that I had never heard of before.
So they actually put more effort into it than fucking the moon landing.
Oh man,
they went, oh, we better work some out.
They were changing this guy to the point where he needed a bottle of the particular air that they decided he was going to breed on from this planet. So they effectively turned it. The reason why they were doing it as well was because that if, you know, when they were trying to fool the so-called United Nations scientists and all that. So an alien lands and they see him, and, you know, whatever happens. But he has the full anatomy of something that couldn't live on Earth, or it wasn't really you know what I mean? That's
well, first, but I mean, I'm not even pulling holes in that, because at the end of the day, that sounds perfect. First of all, though, you can say, how are they going to scan his body? They're not going to be able to work out what anatomy is. Nevertheless,
Yeah.
Oh shit! What was it? No, I had another point. How many people did this entice? This industry 6 years before they landed on the moon. You know, just by saying secret, top secret, you know, and secret mission, and you've got the bit of you know, self-sacrifice, but you know, same as Top Gun, you know, and all these different things. That must have if someone was into films or into about 15, 16, they would have seen that probably a number of times.
Yeah.
So you know, it just cements the fucking. It just cements the idea that you can go up into fucking.
What happens then?
Space.
They tell your one cock and bull story. Do you remember Mr. Sternface, the guy that was doing the operations, and he was kind of like, real.
All the scene.
Yeah, and he was kind of
yeah.
giving out that that your man Culp was culpable for this thing. So anyway, they give her a cock and bull story that he crashed in the Andes. See that, and then I'm thinking, oh, they bring the Andes into it. How many times have we heard about the crash in the Andes? And then that evokes cannibalism and everything else, from their nonsense.
Strange beings coming down and building pyramids. Ooh.
So, and in order to, he basically just hands her a fucking teletext, and she reads it, and it's like, oh, he's dead. Oh, I don't believe it. And she throws it away, and he takes it and puts it back and crumples it and puts it in her hand. Believe it. So then that's, to me, that was like, you have to believe this, and that's it, and
yeah.
But then he entered a kind of paranormally bit in it, where she still feels that he's alive, and she goes to collect all his stuff, because he's dead allegedly.
Is this where they make a pot together?
No, meanwhile, Mr. fucking bad, sad face, stern face, and all the other fucking boffins, they're all in there operating on them and turning them, giving them injections, turning them into an alien, basically. And she's in the other room collecting his stuff, like doctor, whatever, PhD, and that was the funny thing as well. PhD, like, he wasn't even a medical doctor. It was just like, PhD, higher diploma in bullshit, basically. But yeah, so
the weird thing is with that, look at the timing of it.
I know.
Because we've got that push with the medical industry and all that, and I don't like going serious, but it's almost like it's not life imitating art, is it? It's fucking art predicts what life's going to be.
Yeah.
And we get it over and over again. What's like, you got all these new things out now, like spinners and fucking I don't know how many films are out there now. Apparently Spider-Man's out. I didn't even realise, man. I'm sat here. I should be watching Spider-Man. So you got new Spider-Man out. All these gods on film flying around. These have got to affect people.
Yeah, and all these spinners, which is actually marketed towards people with, ADHD and whatever fucking combination of letters you would like from an injection yourself.
It's almost like the for people with a disadvantage.
Yeah, but oh man, it's sad to see all this thing going on. But I don't know. People are buying.
I don't myself.
People are consenting to it, and this fucking thing keeps coming up. This hangout on air will end if you continue broadcasting content. You are we looked at 2 or 3 minutes of their bullshit fucking Outer Limits from 1963. And
I think my voice might be copyrighted. It really should sound like Tom Jones.
Yeah, and it keeps fucking popping up, and I keep Xing out. And do you know something? I know now that this bloody hangout will be one of those copyright things, but I'll just fucking put a counter copyright in.
Del's is going to set his own dynamite. He's going to blow the place up himself.
Fair usage, copy and paste. into their bastards and just give that to them, and they'll just go, "Oh, here's one that actually bothered to send us back a message." Yeah, and I had it
Well,
once before.
I was under the assumption that YouTube was all automated anyway, pretty much.
That's what I'm saying. It is automated, and that's why it keeps these stupid things keep coming up. You know, these bloody warnings.
Yeah, I thought this years ago. I just thought, well, the way it's set out and the way it actually picks up on algorithms and plays things back to you, you don't need them, man. You don't need any like really upper echelons to control anything that's going on in this.
Yeah,
whatever channel you're in. The parameters are there. It's all set. It just works itself out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Although it's funny how some people copyright
and
some people don't.
Doesn't matter anyway, man. If there's any problem with this one, there's various things you can do anyway. I can just record the audio, although I should have been broadcasting on outside radio anyway, you know, but I didn't, as you know. And
what's the most recent thing you've had on outside radio?
The last Del's Pub, you know, lock-in. I actually remembered to just, you know, turn on the radio as well. So, but anyway, I'll do it the next time. But
well, it helps if you're not censored.
Yeah, I think I'm going to feck off anyway, because I was up late last night, and you know, I just want to get a bit of sleep tonight, man. As you know.
Well, it's 2:30, so we'll get a good night anyway, mate.
Yeah. Silly o'clock in the morning, and if this thing is sort of hijacked by copyright, I can just extract the audio out of it and post it on the blog, and people can go listen to it there if they want it. You know.
I will now listen to me, but either way, my mate, it's been an honor.
All right, man, and it was great talking to you, Denny, man. And to everyone in the chat, I just before we go, I'll just actually read out the chat. Why not? I just on the chat, right? Frank is still there. An ounce of salt per day, and Teddy Carroll is there. And nice to see you, Teddy. And Bin got back up, and she said, "Thanks, Joe." Okay, and I don't know what else there. And Teddy is there again, and Ben is there. And your alter ego Napoleon popped in, so that's good.
Yeah, we shows his face.
You're there again. Hi, gang. And Wanda again, you know, Wanda was there. She said she would just listen to it. So, and Wendy.
Well, I'd like to say good afternoon, good evening, or good morning to Ben, Frank, Teddy, and Wanda.
Yeah. And thank you for the 9 people listening. And sure, we'll talk to you again.
I hope so.
Yeah. All right. So